Hello, everybody. How are you? How are things in your world, guys? We're having so much fun talking about Wichita, doing the community spotlight on this great community. And in this video, we're going to talk about the climate of Wichita. Now, the last video, we took our first driving tour of the city. We might have a couple more of those. But now we're going to talk about the climate. And this will be fun because as one of the top parody channels on YouTube, we want to give you the best information. For example, did you know that Wichita is almost exactly halfway between Canada and the Gulf of Mexico? I know! That's what I thought. But the problem with that is that, just like many Midwestern or Great Plains states, the weather, especially in the summer, will alternate between Canadian style and Mexican style within 5 to 7 minutes. The old saying, if you don't like the weather, just hang around 5 minutes, it'll change, is so true in Wichita, and specifically because of that geographic position between those two great countries. And the main thing that this results in is the distinctive Midwestern / Great Plains humidity. And you could say East Coast and Florida and the southern states as well, but in the Midwest, it has that special moisture in the air that makes life so unbearable in the summer. Now, what am I talking about? We're talking about the kind of humidity that we've often said is when you take a shower and then 10 to 15 seconds later, after toweling off, you need another shower. So, the city of Wichita always being innovative and ahead of the curve as one of the biggest communities in Kansas. In fact, bigger than Kansas City. All right, a lot of people don't understand that because the bulwark, the greater part of Kansas City, is in Missouri. So Wichita is one of the biggest cities in the state. Okay, a lot of people don't recognize its leadership, its innovation, its creativity. And one of the ways that you can see that is when you drive around the city, like we did in the last video, our first driving tour of the city, and you see the Wichita Shower Bus. Now, what am I talking about? I'm saying that the humidity is so intense in Wichita that the city came out with the shower bus. Now, this is where you can take a shower on this bus at any time. So let's say you're downtown, you walked maybe 2 blocks, maybe 1 block, and you're dripping in sweat. You got a big meeting. You got to look cool. You got to look crisp. You jump on the shower bus, which does a regular route throughout the city. You put your clothes into a little cubby. You lock it. They have an attendant there to make sure that nobody takes your stuff. You jump into the shower. You get clean again. And guys, you carry like a little change of clothes with you. Maybe some new socks, some new undies, and perhaps a shirt. Okay, a fresh shirt, and you are fresh as a daisy off to your meeting in the air-conditioned shower bus. This idea is so popular in Wichita. People coming in all dripping wet and tired and scraggling and depressed. And they jump on the shower bus, they have a cup of coffee, and they are ready to go. Okay? Now, this idea is so popular, guys, that Uber is talking about using it, stealing the idea or borrowing the innovation and putting showers in Uber cars. Now, the difference would be that you would just be taking, at this point, the technology only allows you to rinse off wearing the same clothes. But the idea is that it would give you a fresh start, and maybe you can, they haven't quite worked it out yet. So you sit in the back of the Uber car or in the passenger seat, and because the rides are usually shorter, all you're going to be able to do is pull on this chain, which will start a shower as you drive down the road. And I think the average Wichita Uber ride is maybe 5 minutes, maybe 7 to 10 minutes. So it gives you enough time to just okay, hit yourself with, now there's plexiglass barriers that keep the driver dry, and then they're even talking about having this same nozzle system for the drivers. Now, they are in the air conditioning, of course, so they don't necessarily have the same challenges of somebody walking around the city all day. So that is an interesting idea. Now, Lyft, we've reached out to find out if they're going to have this same shower nozzle system, Insta Shower, right in their Lyft cars in Wichita. We haven't heard back yet. We'll update you as we find out more. So there you go, guys. This is the way that Wichita is making the lifestyle in the city so attractive to the residents by coming with not trying to alter so much what is already there, the living conditions, but coming up with ideas that make it more adaptable and pleasant to live in what might be an extreme depending on the month. So let's talk about that. Now, in the winter, the average temperature is about 32 degrees, but that's average. So a lot of times it'll go below that. It'll get down to 40, 50, 60 below. Now, what's the benefit of that? You can ice skate to work. You can ice skate to work. Now, what is the benefits of ice skating to work? Well, first of all, you're burning calories, but you're also saving money on parking and fuel. And Wichita is a big city, but it's not that big that you couldn't skate from one end to the other. It might take an hour or two. But that is the beauty of a community that has that climate right in between Canada and right in between Mexico. So that when it is in the winter months and it's more like Canada, you can skate to work. In fact, you could even play hockey on the company hockey team going to work. There are hockey teams in Wichita. They play the game on the roads, and the whole game sort of moves down the ice at the same time they're battling for the puck. And the police tend to give them priority over regular traffic, which can sometimes slow regular commuters, including the shower bus. But the shower bus doesn't get as many people jumping on there in the middle of winter because it's already too cold. So that's during the winter, okay? Now, in the summer is when you get that intense humidity and high temperatures. Now, the average temperatures are only 82 degrees, okay, in the middle of summer. That's the average. But a lot of times it'll get up 90, 100, 150 degrees. And now I know this specifically because this is the exact same winter or summer conditions, I should say, where I went to high school in Des Moines, Iowa. Now, when I moved there, I had 16 brothers. Okay, it's a big Catholic family. So then when we left there after high school, I was down to 3 brothers. Now, we lost a lot of them in the heat of Des Moines, Iowa, in the humidity and the heat of the summer. We would ride our bikes to the pool. We'd ride our bikes to play golf, ride our bikes to do different things. And sometimes one of the brothers would just melt on the bike. He'd pass out and melt. His body would just melt around the bike and sometimes right into a city drain if they were right next to it, into the water supply of the city, and they'd be gone. Now, of course, the chemicals in the water, the chlorine, the different ways that they treat the city water system made it safe for drinking. But I'll be honest with you, after that, many times I'd be having a cup of water and I would just pour a little on the ground and I go, "This one's for you, Dave," right? Like they do like you pouring a 40. All right, I would just pour a cup of drinking water because they melted right in front of me. Now, what you would say, well, that'd be a lot of losses over 4 years, the time that I lived in Des Moines, Iowa. But remember, a Catholic family will have 19, 20, 30 kids because they know that they're going to lose some of them in the heat of the summer. So that is the kind of the snapshot of the climate in Wichita. Extremes on both ends. Okay, you've got the Canadian weather, all right, in the winter where it gets so cold you got people playing ice hockey on the way to work, and then the extreme in the summer where it gets so hot that people are melting on their bicycles just like it did when I lived in Des Moines, Iowa. Okay, but that again is tempered by the city's innovation and leadership. We're going to see this so often in Wichita that the city leaders have taken steps to make it a great place to live with ideas like the shower bus. In fact, they're thinking about coming out with shower planes so that you can just jump on a plane or a helicopter and take a shower on it during the workday, and they'll take you to your destination at the same time. The beauty of the shower helicopter is that you can get dried very quickly from the rotation of the blades. Now, this is a new idea that they're going to be starting this year. They haven't completely ironed out all the details. But if you could take a shower and then get dried off without using a towel from the copter blades, guys, more leadership and innovation from the people that make Wichita hum and make it such a great place to live. Well, that's just a quick snapshot about the climate. Come on back, guys. We have so many more videos about this great city, the neighborhoods, the economy, the music, the culture. Come on back, and we're going to get through it all and have a lot of fun. See you then.